Thank you for joining us for our webinar on how to provision the new UCX clients and to migrate from the existing UC Communicator across to UCX. As you'll all be aware, we are moving to the UCX, which is integration into the WEBEX side of Broadworks. So it'll allow us in future to move forward to do a lot more functionality and bring in more features that are driven by Cisco, who are managing the new UC clients. So this is our first step on that migration path. We'll also bring in some meetings availability and functionality. So some marketing material has already been sent out from Manisha on the upgrades or what the new functionality and features are. And there was always also the earlier webinar, sales webinar we had, went through and described the different functionality. So this is more a bit of a technical on how to migrate your existing customers or to provision new ones. It won't be that long a webinar. The slides and everything as we do our training modules pretty well cover off everything that you need to know, hopefully. If there are any questions or problems, you can always come back through our support line or drop us through an email. So I'll start off now with the module. So the new Microsoft Teams integration UCX brochures, you can also find those at the link that we've got here, and a copy will be emailed to you guys as well too, just to help with some marketing material. But anything marketing, reach out to Manisha. She'll be more than happy to help you with what we've already got or any ideas that you have yourselves. So this is our module 13, which is our UC replacement, UC Communicator replacement module. So this is our full training slides that we have here, all the different modules that are involved. So it's module 13 that we've upgraded and created the new UCX. So in this module, we look at the UCX product and cover off the new UCX as well as upgrading UC-one. So UCX can be ordered with either messaging or meetings. So again, that would have been described and explained in the sales training. But basically, messaging is the replacement pretty well for what we have now with our UC Communicator or our premium UC licenses. The meetings is quite good, which we run a lot of. We'll run, you have meeting rooms and HD video, screen sharing, collaboration, all of that. And you can actually bring in third-party people as well too that aren't actually on the using the UC client themselves. So it's quite a good new product. And as I said, that's our first step across to the WEBEX side of things. So the basic only is for a single device now, which will be either a mobile, desktop, or a tablet. You can have only one of those active at any one time, and you can change them if they were to move from a desktop to a mobile. It's just updating the device type would be fine. So premium allows for your shared call appearance, so you can have multiple devices, and they can be chosen either the handset and applications and combination of those. So it's very simple, exactly what we have now with the premium UC. And the breakdown in the license structures are the UC basic messaging, basic meetings, premium messaging, and premium meetings. And then the device types that we'll have similar to what we've always had, but it'll be a mobile, desktop, and a tablet. So with the UCX customer activation, before we can configure UCX, we need to make sure we order the appropriate licenses and services. This is done in the way that everyone is probably well and truly aware of, going via the quote tool, quoting, and adding the components from their product catalog so that you can add those to the site and then make them available to apply to users. So no changes there in anything we do. So as again, just don't forget to order the correct device types. There's always a little catch that you order the licenses, but don't order the devices. And again, a little rule of thumb that we always do is that, you know, if you have 3 premium UC or premium messaging licenses, then order 3 desktop, 3 mobile, and 3 tablet, just to cover off if there are any requirements there. As I said, there's a $0 value against those. They're just the devices, and it makes it easy down the track if you do want to change or add those without having to go back through the quoting process. So with the basic, you can license as a device type and set the quote, and we've ordered a basic user. So the same way we would set provision extension as you would normally, when you are creating it, you select the basic user messaging or meetings, and that will then show as the service package that's assigned against that user. And we provision the user as we would normally would, and then we will have a device type that's set up as a UCX desktop. So at this point, obviously, once you have created the user as you normally do, so we have stepped over a few steps, but I think everybody understands on how to create the user from assigning a number and then the services to it, which is what we just back there. Another thing to remember is the password. So you will still need a password as you did with your communicator, and that's obviously done by going through to the applications and then to the web access password. So you can update that password for your customers. There is a default one that's in there, but it's normally useful to upgrade it to something that's suitable for that site or to those users. And just I've put in there the requirements for passwords as well. So if you do the meetings add-on package for if you users that do have to have meetings, there's no real difference or changes that you do in Unified when provisioning that package as such. But you do need to send through an email just to say, because right now we do have to upgrade those. Everyone that you create will come through as a meetings, but we need to upgrade them to to meetings package. So we'll come through as a messaging, and we'll need to upgrade them to meetings for you in the back end. And that's the only change that you need to do. So it's not hard to do and quite simple. Just send through a request with numbers you need on site, and we'll update them for you. So the same as with the premium, there is no difference there. Again, it's just when you create the user and that you're doing, you select the premium UC service package, and that will then provision that as a premium. And then you will then connect the handset as your primary handset that you want to primary device. And typically, and we try to do here if we can, if you are having a user that's having a desk phone and a combination of the UC clients, we will make the primary device as the actual as the handset. So once we've done that, we've got the add device ability at the user. So we're at the user now, and we can add in the premium, the add-ons that we need to there. So we will click on the add device, then select that we want to add in the UCX device, the mobile client, for instance, this one here, and then we'll ask us, do you want to enable the device and can make a call or, receive a call. They're typically the same that we have done in the past, and confirm that. And you will have then created the device. We go in, again, we need to check the password and adjust the password if we needed to. And once we've done the password, we will now go into shared call appearance. So we go back to the applications tab and we click on the shared call appearance. Because we've selected multiple devices, we can select here on that shared call appearance. Typically I turn them all on, but you've got the options if you don't want to alert for click to dial or group paging, or the one that is probably pertinent to turn on is allow retrieve from another location. If you don't allow that on there, is if you want to pull a call, so from your desk phone to your mobile or from your mobile to an app to your PC app, you won't be able to do that unless you've, and then that's normally the symptom of it. You can't do it, and it'll say failed, and it's because you haven't allowed retrieve call from another location. So once we've done that, if we have a look, we'll see that we now have the added devices against the user that we've got there. So the T42G was the primary device, and then we have a shared call appearances with the UCX apps. So mobile, desktop, and tablet. Okay. So we need to then obviously remember for the logging in for the user, to the user name will be under general, and it is the full user ID. So it's typically the phone number at your domain name that you've set and using. So that was basically how we set up the two new users, which is very similar to what you would do normally setting up any new user. It's just a matter of selecting the right license type and then the right device types. And when we have multiple of those devices that we're utilizing in the shared call, we just turn on the shared call and we add the devices to make sure that we have them there. There's no real difference or change for the brand new ones. There is a little bit of a difference in the migration path from existing UC across to the existing UC-one. So the current UC-one business communicator is obviously end of life, so we're not be able to order those anymore either in there. So you need to use the new UCX packages. The diagram below basically gives you a little of an idea. So if you had a business line plus a UC-one bolt-on, you would move that across. You can move that across to a UCX basic package. The only clause or to condition that you need to be aware of, obviously, is that you can only have one device on the basic package. So if you were using the UCX bolt-on bundle in the past, would allow you to have multiple devices. That will not allow it in the moving forward. You'll need to use the UCX premium package. So that will allow you to have multiple devices. So a bolt-on, business line bolt-on or standard enterprise plus the bolt-on or the premium UC, where you had more than the one mobile device or one device type, would need to use the premium package. So when you're doing the upgrade, I'll just put a little flow chart in here just to jog memories on what to do in that process. So prior to upgrading, we need to log out and uninstall the Communicator apps from all the users that are on the site that you're upgrading. So that'll be the PC, mobile and tablet for all of those users. So we just need to go to those devices and remove those. We do the quote for the new licenses and devices. We add the new license to the users via the add service package. We cease the old licensing using the cease wizard that we have. So as you would be aware too, obviously to cancel a product, we use the cease wizard, and that will remove the charges and services from the site. So no changes there. It's just that we need to manage that and do it there. Then we'll go in through and remove the old Communicator devices and add the new UC device types at the users level as well too. And then we move through and register those users as we do a normal user, the new UC user. So when migrating to the UCX, unfortunately, there is no way of migrating the contacts and the chat stored in the old Communicator app. So these will be lost on that migration path across and need to be re-added in. There's no way of backing up and migrating to the new UCX. We have exhausted this with Cisco to see if there's any way we can pull out that information, but unfortunately there isn't any. So the path, as I said, for migrating from the UC-one to UCX, before we move across, we need to order all the licenses that we need, similar to creating a brand new user as well too. So we just make sure we have the right device types and licenses. So what we have here is we're using the example that we've done. We've got a user, Jason, has a premium UC license, and he has a T42G, it's his primary device, and a shared call appearance with a business communicator. So we will upgrade this user to premium UC, premium messaging, and the UCX desktop. So we have the UCX premium as an example, and we're using it through here because there's no real difference from the basic, except that there's only one user. So we haven't doubled up on that. So fall back to the old one. So we've look at the user, we can see the user there has the T42. If we go into the devices, you can see the devices is a primary device and a shared call appearance. And the shared call appearance is the business communicator PC. So this is the user that we'll be trying to get rid of, or the device type that we'll be upgrading. And we'll also see it has the service packages. So we go under services. The service package is the premium UC user. So first of all, we need to upgrade the license type. So we've already ordered all the licenses. So we go to the services, we go add a new service package. And from that service package, we select the UCX premium that we wanted to add to there. Once we've added it, we'll see that it now is shown in the service packages as running both packages right now, the premium UC and the UCX premium. So we need to remove the old UC premium UC license. And as I said, we'll use the cease license wizard, which is available that you'll see under your products at the site screen, the site level. If you go down to the bottom of the site, you'll see a list of all the products that are there. We want to select the premium UC user, and then we'll run the cease wizard. So we select the user that we want. If you've got multiple of them and they all finish, or the start dates and the end dates are the same, or start dates the same, you can do them all at once based on those users. And that'll be typically what you'll do. Most sites were set up the same, unless you added the license in at a later date, and then you'll have to run everything. If that has the same start date, you can end it. It's just if you've got a couple of different ones, you might have to run it once or twice. So we cease the order, we cease the license type, and in here, in the actual end date, just remember that we want to copy the notification date. So the date we're ceasing those licenses today, we will use that date through that we want to actually deprovision those user licenses on. And then we click next. We make an adjustment in here so that the system will look at obviously wanting to charge the customer for the life of that contract or the end of that contract for those licenses. Because we're moving to a new license or we want to cease that license on a set date, we can put an adjustment amount in there so that we remove any overcharge that you would have. So they'll get charged up until that time, and then we'll remove any further charges based against that license. You can put in a note in there for the adjustment if you want, so that it's shown. It can just say that, UCX upgrade like I've done here. Then we can just press the confirm button. Once we've done that, we'll actually have removed that license type from that user now. So the next step that we need to do after that, so we've updated the license now when we removed the old license. So we just need to remove the shared call devices that we have there, which are the old devices. So we go back into the user, and where we've got the old PC communicator, the business communicator PC there, we wanted to click on the cross, which will remove that device. So we'll remove the device and we can then refresh, and we'll see that we only now are left with our primary device and no other devices. So we can click on the add device to add our new UCX device types back. And from the drop down, we select again which device do we want to use, the desktop, the PC, sorry, the desktop, the mobile, or a tablet if we wanted to. So we can select them. If we want all three, we'll run it 3 times and do that. And then again, it's the standard format that we go through. We want to enable the device, can we make a call from that device? Can we receive a call from that device? And again, you might want to change some things in there where you have your desktop is set so that it can make calls, but you don't want to really receive calls on there. I want that on my mobile or my phone. Again, it's up to what the requirements are for your customers. So once we finish that, we confirm, and then we'll see the device has been added there. We go back into the site, the user, and we see we now have a UCX desktop set up as a device. So modifying the primary device too, I just put this in just in case you've got customers that for some reason are running the communicator as their primary device, or it's the only device that they've got. If it was a business a basic and you wanted to upgrade it, or for some reason, and sometimes we have had where people don't use the desk phone as their primary device, which is the best rule of thumb, but may have made it a PC communicator as their primary device. We need to upgrade that. So the simple way to do that is just the amend device, the same as if we were changing a phone from a T46 to a T48, the same methodology as we would use. So we amend device, and then we select the new device type that we want, go next and confirm. That will then have updated that device now, so we can move on, and that's created the new device for us. So meetings add-on package for the premium. As I said, if you need the meetings, once you finish that, you just need to send through an email, the add-on package for the customer for meetings to tell us that which users they are, and what sites they're at, and we will then update the license at the back end for you. And that's pretty well done straight away for you. And those new users that you created will now have the meetings capabilities. So just a note too for WebEx Teams and Unified Communicator, when you're using the WebEx Teams users, so users that are being configured on the UCX will need to enter an email address for credentials for WebEx Teams accounts. So whenever you're creating the new UCX user, we actually create a WebEx, they get a WebEx Teams account as well. So if the users already have an existing WebEx Teams account, it is recommended that you first delete the account that you actually do have and then reactivate it as part of the sign-in process. If you don't, you will see a clash and it won't register because it sees 2 different things there. We've brought this up with Cisco as well too. They don't see it as a real problem because it says about 1% of people that they configure will actually have this issue, and they're not going to work on trying to do a fix to say if you have both of them. If you want to keep your old WebEx account, then you'll need to just use a different email address and create a new WebEx account, which will be associated with your UCX account as well. So you do obviously understand that you will lose your history, obviously, because you have to delete the other old WebEx account and then create the new one. And again, we can't do anything about backing that up. and then reactivating it again too. So existing users with Novum Networks will lose all their contact information history with their unified communicator as well too, which we did go over. I just want to make sure that everyone really is aware of that. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do, and that when you do create the new UCX, you will start a fresh screen with your chat and also your contacts as well too. Just need to re-add them back in again. But the new contacts and the new chat is a lot more intuitive, and ability to look through and search and other stuff that we never had with the unified communicator. So once we've done all this, we then have to obviously activate the users on the device. So we've used the UCX mobile here just as an example. So once the app has been downloaded, you need to access a code. So this UPN MDZ is a unique code for us, which links it to our Broadworks platform and pulls through the UCX branding that we've gone with. So it starts off with UC-one. It'll then pull the UCX branding once we add that code in there. Eventually, once we move to the next lot of staging there'll be branding available down to a white label for you guys as well too. So the branding will change, and you'll need to use the password is the password that we used in our web applications. Okay, so the username we'll go through and set up. As I said, the username is exactly the same as we did before. It is your full national number, or whatever is stored. If it's still an older user, it'll be that 08, or the national number 10 digits. That's under your general information for the user. Once we've done that and the password, we click next. And the screen requests an email address. So this is where it's that WEBEX part we were talking about. So we need to put an email address in here, and that will create that new WEBEX account. And once that you've done that, you'll receive 2 emails will be sent to your email that you've provided in there. One is to validate, obviously, the email address. And once we validate it, then you get another email back to confirm the validation. So at this stage, we're almost done. And that information now is stored and ready for everyone to have a look at. And your UC-one apps will be up and running at this point here now. So the links that you need to use, obviously the software of the devices can be found at the link that's provided here. And there's also help on the UC-one.com. A lot of help and little videos and stuff there. You can access the videos as well through from the device help menu if you've got them on there, or you can go straight to the site here and look at the helps that are available there. So it's a lot more advanced than what we had in the communicator, and the app will be kept up to date a lot more. Obviously, now run and managed by Cisco and to work with their WEBEX products. So when you've downloaded and installed that, don't forget, obviously, is that you need to have that code for your partners or your customers to be able to put in there. Obviously, the username and password, as I said, can be found in that general profile, and make sure that you do have your web password, and that also the history is going to be lost. So pretty well, that's everything we need to know, guys. I probably talk a lot faster than most people. I didn't want to waste too much of your time, because everything is provided for you guys here in the PowerPoint, and also this webinar that will be recorded for you guys. Plus, we'll send out all other information that you need. So it should be fairly straightforward for you to move on to manage your partners, your customers there. Just to reiterify that we have ceased the old products, so that you will need to use the new UCX products, and also there'll be a stage of migration where we'll off your existing customers that are on the platform, where we won't be able to support that anymore. So we will need to start moving people across, and we can work with you guys on those things. So thank you. That's the completion of the module that we've got. And we'll throw it out to any questions that you've got. If you want to shoot some questions through to Manisha through your chat, and we can answer those for you. Thank you for your